It's hard to wrap our minds around the sheer size of dinosaurs. When we watch Jurassic Park or any documentary, we get an idea, but the largest of them are still far less explored. Many of them were impossibly large, with a single leg bone taller than a human. While plenty of dinosaurs have a reputation for being quite large, these 15 in particular will give you a newfound appreciation for how intimidating they would have been back in the day, even if they were herbivores. Welcome back to Forever Green, where today, we're going to talk about 15 of the most enormous dinosaurs this world has ever seen. Before we begin, we have a little pop quiz for you. How small do you think the smallest dinosaur ever was? Put your guesses in the comments and stick around till the end to find out. Number 15. Shingopana and The fossil of the Shingopana and was found in Tanzania, and in Swahili, their name means wide neck. They were 26 feet in length and 5.5 tons in weight. And this massive creature was an herbivore. He was found during the Rukwa Rift Basin project and had more in common with Titanosaurs from South America than it did with any dinosaurs in Africa. Titanosaur skeletons have been found all over the globe, but were especially prevalent in South America. Similar specimens are surprisingly rare in Africa, meaning that Shingopana and was most likely king of the herbivores in the ecosystem of its time. The lack of similarity between Shingopana and other titanosaur specimens in Africa have led scientists to investigate how different the habitats of North and South Africa were during the Cretaceous period. Number 14. Saltasaurus. The Saltasaurus derives its name from the Salta province in Argentina and is the first of its kind to have armored skin. This 42-foot, 8-ton behemoth had the added advantage of bony plates on its skin called scutes. While it's generally accepted that sauropods used their whip-like tails to fend off would-be predators, their scutes made them even harder to take down. It also had a stockier appearance than many other sauropods, with shorter limbs and a short neck. Scientists had trouble recognizing and categorizing Saltasaurus in the past because many of its bones were found scattered all over the place, and they thought they might all belong to different dinosaurs. This dinosaur is smaller than several of its counterparts, so its bones were assumed to have been fragments of juvenile skeletons. Number 13. Spinosaurus. Perhaps not the biggest out there compared to herbivores, but the Spinosaurus was the largest carnivorous dinosaur. Many people used to think that this title belongs to the T-Rex, but the Spinosaurus beats the T-Rex in both length and mass. They were 41 to 59 feet in length and a massive 10 tons in weight. The signature trait of the Spinosaurus was its giant tail and teeth that had adapted for catching fish. This giant terror is the first non-avian dinosaur to have a semi-aquatic lifestyle. Still, some paleontologists think they may not have been as graceful in the water. It appears that this predator was more of a floater than a swimmer. The spines that give the Spinosaurus its name jutted up from its back, likely connected by a webbing of skin. These spines could be up to 7 feet long. Number 12. Raptosaurus croisi. The name Raptosaurus came from Malagasy deity known as Rapito, and from the Greek word for lizard, saurus. Coming in at 49 feet and 16 tons, this dino set an essential milestone in the scientific community. It was the first titanosaur skeleton to be found almost perfectly intact. As with many other sauropods, this dinosaur's discovery helped answer many questions scientists have been wrestling with concerning identifying and classifying fossil specimens. One unique trait of the Raptosaurus is that their young were born with the same proportions as their parents. This means that they were born ready to start foraging independently, rather than waiting to be fed as most others do. Young creatures like this are known as precocial offspring, and the theory is that the Raptosaurus developed this way so they can grow to large sizes quickly. Number 11. Diplodocus longus. Not the most imaginative name for a long dinosaur, but we'll take it. The Diplodocus longus, true to its name, spans a massive 80 feet long and weighs 16.3 tons. One of only 6 Diplodocus skeletons has been found so far, with the 6th one, Misty, being auctioned off to an anonymous buyer. This lumbering herbivore is recognized as the longest dinosaur known from a complete skeleton. Their size was perhaps their best defense, as its brain was no more than 4 ounces and they were herbivores. However, since brain matter doesn't fossilize well, this is only an educated guess based on the dinosaur's skull size and comparing them to modern birds and crocodiles. One of the most striking characteristics of this dinosaur was its long, slender, bullwhip-like tail. Number 10. Ilaltitan Liloi. The name Ilaltitan comes from Ilal, the creator god of the people in Chubut province in Argentina, and Titan comes from the Greek gods. Everything we know about this dinosaur was based on a single skeleton found in Argentina. Scientists wondered if this 59-foot, 60-ton behemoth had any additional defense of bony plates. But since there is nothing else to go on, not much is known, while the uncovering of its fossilized remains haven't been completed yet. The Ilaltitan Liloi has the privilege of being the first ever dinosaur whose heel bone was ever discovered. Number 9. Brachiosaurus Allosaurus. Brachiosaurus is Greek for arm lizard, and it refers to the dino's long legs. Its front legs are much longer than the back legs. Altithorax means deep chest, in reference to the sternum that gave this species its proud appearance. This species is categorized by its long neck and disproportionately tiny head. These features make this enormous dinosaur look even larger than it was, even though its tail is proportionately shorter than that of many other sauropods. They were about 59 to 69 feet long and weighed 62 tons. This impressive dinosaur has actually been studied from little remains, many of which were found scattered about. Fortunately, despite the shambles that many of these skeletons were found in, the discoveries did include a skull, a piece that often goes missing during the fossilization process. Number 8. Giraffatitan Bronce. Any guesses how this one got its name? Come on, it's got giraffe and titan in its name. Though not the heaviest dino at just 37.5 tons, it's definitely one of the longest at 74 feet. Its fossil was found in Tanzania on the Tandaguru expedition and was promptly labeled a Brachiosaurus because of its high front legs and giraffe-like build. All size estimates for this Jurassic-era giant are based on the specimen reconstructed and mounted at the Humboldt Museum in Germany. Giraffatitan Bronce used to be confused with the Brachiosaurus Allosaurus, until scientists noticed some key differences in the vertebrae and heaviness of the skeleton's overall build. Once mounted in Berlin, the unusually well-preserved skeleton was measured and declared to be the most massive mounted dinosaur skeleton in the world. Before we move on, here's a quick challenge for you. If you can leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and turn on the notifications in less than 5 seconds, you will have 10 years of amazing luck. Hurry up and try it. It actually works. Number 7. Sauroposeidon magnificus. At 82 feet and 32 tons, this specimen is the largest find in Brazil to date. It was found in the rocks of Presidente Prudente Formation in southern Brazil, and apparently shared this environment with 2 other smaller titanosaurs, both just 23 feet in length. The only known specimen is made up of 2 incomplete cervical neck vertebrae, 1 cervical rib, 7 back vertebrae, and 1 fragmented hip vertebra. It was found in something called a crevasse splay, which happens when a flooding river breaks through a natural levee and deposits sand and mud onto an adjacent floodplain. Number 6. Patagonia dukai. This dino was found when it washed into the river, and its massive body formed a barrier that trapped several other small fish and other specimens. So in a good way, not only did we find the skeleton, we got a host of other fossils to study alongside it. While this isn't the largest dinosaur ever discovered, it does set a record as the most complete giant dinosaur ever found. Minus the tail vertebrae, that is. The missing tail makes it hard to judge the dinosaur's exact size, and scientists have been working off only 1 main tail vertebrae they found. Still, the bone specimens that have been collected around for 70% of the skeleton, which is pretty good. Number 5. Pterosaurus riodavenensis. Here's a fun fact. Scientists initially thought that this dinosaur had a small, second brain in its tail. Sadly, that is not the case. It turns out the spinal cord enlarged and evolved to control the dinosaur's massive tail. With a body this huge, 2 brains would have been a gift. The Tyrannosaurus riodevensis is 118 to 128 feet long and weighs about 45 tons. It is the first megadinosaur to have been discovered in Europe, with a humerus as large as an average adult human and claws the size of a football. Interestingly, the Tyrannosaurus riodevensis has been determined to have been more primitive in development than some of its sauropod cousins. This made the Tyrannosaurus a representative of all undiscovered primitive Jurassic-era dinos in Europe. Number 4. Dreadnoughtus. The Dreadnoughtus knows how to use its massive size to its advantage. Spanning 85 feet and weighing 65 tons, this herbivore uses its 37-foot neck to reach for edible vegetation in a wide radius, allowing them to stay in one place for hours at a time to conserve energy. One of its neck vertebrae is over a yard in diameter, and what's more, scientists believe this particular specimen wasn't even fully grown yet. The massive fossilized skeleton of this dinosaur was found in Patagonia, and it was complete. Number 3. Sauroposeidon pratellis. Scientists think that the Sauroposeidon was so massive that it was actually 100% safe from all predators. They were just so big that they were left alone to graze in peace. At 111 feet and 66 tons, that's no surprise. This behemoth was of such impressive size that when it was first discovered, its vertebrae were thought to be petrified wood. It just seemed impossible that this could be an animal. Each vertebra was over 4 feet long and together formed a 40-foot long neck. This lengthy neck allowed these sauropods to indulge in specialized grazing habits, eating foliage primarily from the top of trees. At 55 feet tall, the Sauroposeidon pratellis holds its title as the tallest dinosaur ever. It is now time to check out today's subscriber pick. If you find a mysterious or bizarre picture on the internet, make sure to send it to us. We'll investigate and might even put it in a future video. Today's image comes from one of our subscribers, and oh, that does not look fun. We can't imagine what disagreement led to such a terrible fight, but there are records of scientists finding the bones of a particular dinosaur more in the remains of other predators than out on its own. Check out number 2. Number 2. Parla Titan. At 100 feet and 83 tons, the Parla Titan also boasts the longest humerus of all known sauropods. Unfortunately, most other bones of this herbivore have turned up in the form of fossilized leftovers from other predators. The best specimens we have remain at 100 fragments from 16 different bones. It is odd because scientists have also found that in addition to its size, they also had scutes for self-defense, like the Saltasaurus. The speculation here is that the Parla Titans regularly encountered the Carnodontosaurus and the Spinosaur, 2 giant carnivores that frequented its favorite place to walk, coastal swamps and mangroves. Still, there is hope to recover more bones in the years to come. Before we check out the number 1 largest dinosaur find in the world, be sure to check out other amazing videos on our channel, and give us a like if you enjoyed this video so far. Tell us in comments which one of these you like the most and why. Number 1. Patagotitan majorum. It was discovered in 2014, and it wasn't named until recently. A local farm worker 135 miles west of Patagonia in Argentina came across the remains of a new titanosaur in 2014, and the fossils were then excavated by paleontologists. They uncovered partial skeletons of about 7 dinosaurs, 150 bones in total, all of them in weirdly good condition. They estimate that it roamed the Patagonia forests about 95 to 100 million years ago. By measuring the length and circumference of the thigh bone, they calculated that the animal weighed about 85 tons, 130 feet long, and 65 feet tall, which is nearly as high as a 7-story building. Now, we can't be sure this is definitely the largest dinosaur to ever roam the Earth. There is still so much of our planet unexplored. Despite most media outlets already calling the contest, there is no way to ensure that the Patagotitan roamed the Earth unchallenged. For now, though, it can have the throne for some time until the next biggest discovery comes along. And that's it for the 15 largest dinosaurs in the world. And as promised before, the answer to the question, how small was the smallest dinosaur in the world? The answer is a mere 1.5 inches. That's about the size of a bee or a hummingbird. It is called the Oculodentavis quangre, and it's a bird-like dinosaur found encased in amber in 2016. Their closest relatives are feathered dinosaurs, which are distant cousins of modern birds. These tiny birds had 40 sharp teeth and huge eyes, both great for hunting prey in thick foliage. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out others on the Forever Green channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.